Let us start with them. We have the mathematical expectation and variance of random variable. In this, we are going to first revise what the expected value means, as we have learned yesterday. That expected value of a random variable x is a discrete random variable of a random variable is given as a weighted average of the possible values that it can take, and each value is being multiplied with the probability. What we have learned is, we have learned that if we have to write down the expectation, that the formula is given by ex. This is the symbol for the expectation of very random variable x, and it is given by summation of x, if x are the values that random variable x can take, into the corresponding probabilities. And similarly, if we are going for the continuous one, what we have integral of x into fx dx. Now what fx is? Fx is the function that gives the probabilities of each of the values x. Correct? So this is what we have learned. So in the continuation of the same, today we have to explore the properties, and we have to see how the things are going to work. So here we have that x is a random variable with probability density function, especially probability mass function fx. If we are talking about density or mass, it means we are working with a discrete or continuous type of thing. Then how we can give the expectation? These are the formulas. For continuous, we have x into fx dx, and for discrete, it is x into fx. Sometimes we write it as px also, because p actually represents the probability, and f here is representing the function. Right? Distribution function, we can say, is also represented by capital of fx. Here we have taken small fx. So let's just start with an example. Here we have started with a simple example. What the example is: imagine a game in which on any play, a player has 20% chance of winning $3 and 80% chance of losing $1. We are talking about two things. Total 100% chance we have covered. 20% chance is of winning $3, and there is 80% chance of losing $1. We are looking for what is the probability mass function of the random variable x, the amount won or lost on a single play. And we are looking for what is the average amount expected to win. It means what we have to find out. First, we have to create the probability distribution function, correct? And the second thing is, we have to calculate the expectation. Here we can say we are talking about average amount expected to win. So average amount expected to win means we are looking for the expectation or the mean value. So if we have to say what we have to do, we have to write down the two things and their corresponding probabilities. So this is how we can write down. We have written x, means the random variable can take the value $3 or dollar of -1. It's a chance of winning and losing. And what is the corresponding probabilities? You can write it down as px or fx. Normally we use fx in case of continuous one and px for the discrete one. Correct? So these are the notations that differ from author to author, but normally this is what we adopt is for random one, sorry, for the discrete one we used ex, and for continuous we use fx. So here if we write down the probabilities, for winning $3, probability is 0.2, 20%, and for losing we have the probability of 0.8. Correct? So how we can find out this? What we have created here is, this is the probability distribution. And if you have to calculate the expected value, so this is the formula that we have used. We have to take summation of x into fx. So x means the values, fx means the probabilities. So how we are going to calculate? We are going to multiply them. $3 into 0.2. So we have 0.6 here, and $1 and minus 0.8. But it is the loss that we are getting, so obviously we have to use this negative sign. So it is minus of 0.8. So finally we are getting minus of 0.2. Means the expected one is a loss of 0.2. So this is how we're getting the values. Will it be fine? This is just we have revised with the with a small example that how expected values has to be calculated when you have the things as the possible outcome and their corresponding probabilities. चलिए, let's start with another example in which we have given you the probability mass function of the discrete random variable is given by this. X is 0, 1, 2, 3. These are the values that x can take. And the corresponding probabilities are 0 0.2, 0 0.1, 0 0.4, and 0 0.3. Correct? So whatever the properties we have learned today, we have to use and be sure to have your pen and paper and be ready to do the work if you can listen me. The first thing is we are looking for what is expected value of 2. So if I have to calculate expected value of 2, it means we are looking for expected value of a constant one. And if you remember what we have done, if we have C, what the formula is, expected value of a constant is, write down the answer in the chat box, those who can listen to me.
Ma'am, what
E of
E2?
E2. E2 is equal to
Ma'am, E2 will be, I think, 2.
2. E expected
2.
value of C is C. This is the formula we have. That whenever we have a constant, then expected value is not to change. It's always the same thing. The next is EX. So for EX, what we have to do, we have to multiply each X with the corresponding frequency, and then you have to sum them up. So find out what is the mean we can say or the expected value of X. Find it out. We have very small numbers taken as an examples, and with these example, I have not taken from your text or reference book SC Gupta. It is just taken from some internet source where some examples were elaborated, and I have taken it because these are very easy to understand how it actually works. Because in the book, when I have tried to take the snapshot, is one not coming very good in the form of PPT. Wherever possible, I will take from your book also, but here I have taken from some internet source. So I'm getting some answer. Pritam is saying 1.8. So that's good. Others also please respond so that I can verify. If I have to do it manually, what I can do is 0 into 0.2 is 0, the first part. Then 1 into 0.1 gives me 0.1. 2 into 0.4 gives me 0.8 and 3 into 0.3 gives me 0.9. Okay, all of you are getting 1.8. Most of you have answered. That's good.
Ma'am, EX is
So
1.8.
correct, it's 1.8. Most of you are giving the same answer, 1.8. Now the next is what is E of 2x? Again, we have to use the property that we have learned
Ma'am, twice
yesterday
of this. Ma'am, twice of
twice.
this.
Correct.
Twice of this,
So
3.6.
2.6. Correct. Yes, most of you are giving me the answer. It means now you can listen to me. That's a good thing because I was worried that if nobody can listen me, then the lecture is of no use. Okay. So what the property we have is we have that if some constant is multiplied by x and we are looking for the expected value, what it is, c will be outside because we know expected value of constant is a constant, and then it is c into whatever expected value of x is. Correct? So if we have C as 2, expected value of X we are getting is 1.8. So it is coming as 2 into 1.8, 3.6. Correct. Most of you have answered me correctly. Let's check. These are the values. I think correct we have calculated. E2 is 2 because it's a constant one. E of X we have calculated 1.8 and E of 2X is 3.6. Okay. Let me elaborate it more. EX we have done 0 into 1.0.2 plus 1 into 0.1 plus 2 into 0.4 plus 3 into 0.2. This is how we have calculated EX and use the property that E of 2x is equal to twice of EX. We have obtained the last one. Correct? So this is how we are getting. So let's start with the next one. Here what we are saying, we have the same question with you. And I think there is no change. What you have to find out is you have to find out E of x square. Now what to do? E of x square. Just make out a guess. What should be the value?
Ma'am, it's I think 4.4.
How is 4.4?
That last time you discussed about it. Ma'am, those four.
Hmm, we have done.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, previous class.
Oh, that's fine. I'm asking you the formula. What we can do to find out the answer. Tell me the formula that you have used. I think your answer is correct. Some of you are writing out 4.4 and some of you are saying 3.24. What others do?
1 second, ma'am.
People you are asking, can we square root ex? Why to square root ex? There is no need of squaring out
X
ex, it
square.
is just the
यहाँ पे
mean.
x square. यहाँ पे x square.
Here we have e of x square.
Yes, ma'am.
Whatever is coming inside, you have to take it as such. If it is x, we have multiplied x into fx. If it is x raised to power n, we have to multiply x raised to power n into fx. Probabilities are just the same. If it is x, it is x fx expectation. Here it is e x square, so it is summation of x square into fx.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Understood.
So let me show you. Most of you have. Farhan, are you going to give me the answer? Let me show you the answer. Now you can try. I think Himanshu has
Ma'am,
given me the correct answer. Hmm.
ma'am, it's ma'am 0.1 plus ma'am
Hmm.
into 4.
First one, okay, let me do. Himanshu, your answer is correct. Let me tell others how we are doing. Here, the first
Ma'am,
thing is if we have.
ma'am, I will.
Bolo.
Ma'am, I am sending in the chat. Ma'am, I am sending in the chat. Ma'am, what we have to do.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Till then,
ex.
let me do. E x square, if you're talking about, then we know that whatever expected value we have to calculate for random variable x, then we have taken summation of x into fx. This is the actual formula. Correct? Now, in the formula, f we have not changed, but we are saying expected value of x square. So, what we have to do, we have to just take x square here, x square into fx. It means first if we take 0 square into 0.2, this will give me 0. Correct? The next if I take it's 1 square into 0.1, it means it is 0.1. 1 square is 1 already we know. If we talk about 2, this is our x, we are taking x square. So 2
I am
square
sending.
means 4. 4 into 0.4. Correct? And similarly, the last one, if we have 3, so we in place of 3, what we have to take? 9. 9 into 0.3. And if I do the calculation now, it becomes 0.1 plus 4 into 4, 16. And I can have it down as 1.6. And last one is 9 3 is 27. And one decimal is there, so it is 2.7. And if I add all 7 and 6, 13 and 1, 14, so we have 4.2, 3 and 4. So this is your first answer. Correct? Now, Yes, Manshu, you're correct. All others, I think most of you have done correctly. Those who have done the mistake, I think now it's clarified because we have
Ma'am,
learned the formula earlier. Hmm.
next is that, ma'am, next answer is, ma'am, next part 16.8. Ma'am,
Yes,
2
I have
into
shown you the
1.8
answer
plus
actually.
3 into 4.4.
Means the only thing is because I have shown you, just you have to see that how we are implementing. If it is e of 2x, then we know if I take expectation inside as we do the uh, properties, the use of properties, it can be written as twice into expected value of x and plus it's 3 outside again because it's a constant 3 into expected value of x square. So just by putting the value of ex which we have calculated earlier, we have 1.8. So this will give me 2 into 1.8 and plus 3 into 4.4. Now all others can verify whether we are getting the answer or not. According to me, this is what we are doing to get the answer, and if one of you have verified, so it means this calculation will lead to the value 16.8, isn't it?
Yes,
Correct?
ma'am.
Chill. This is just we have taken some of the simplest example where x is given to us, fx is given to us, and we are just doing with the help of the properties, and all the properties we have learned yesterday. If you just forgot, you have to revise it, the ppts with you, and then you can come back to the ppt that I have uploaded today for the revision. Correct. So let's start with the next one. Here we have again, we are saying that knowing that again the function is same, we are saying e of x square is 4.4, e of x is 1.8. We have to verify that e of 4x square is 17.6 and expected value of 3x plus 2x square is 14.2. So it is just to verify that these answers are okay.
Ma'am, right. Ma'am, okay.
Okay. So these are just for the verification because two values are already known to me. So how we will do? Ex square is given. E of 4x square means I have to multiply this by 4 and we'll get the answer. Here ex is known, e of x square is known, so just by using the same property we will get the answer. So I think we have to skip it, you can verify at your own pace. Correct? So these are just the properties using. Now the next most is we are looking for the variance and standard deviation. Till now we have learned about the expectation, and expectation is also known as the mean. In statistics there are three important things that we calculate for each and every data, which is the mean, variance and standard deviation. If we talk about what variance is, so variance tell us how much variation is there of all the data values from their mean. Correct? This is what the variance is. And what if we talk about what standard deviation is, then standard deviation, if we talk about the formula, so it is the under root of the variance. But actually, why it is to be calculated? Because if we see the formula of variance, here if we see, it is let's see first. Okay, let's go for the formula. Then I will tell you why we are going for the standard deviation. Because in real life examples, we are never relying upon the variance. We are looking for the standard deviation, and I will ask you what the reason is. Correct. Let's start with the formula first. Here we are saying when ux, if ux is equal to x minus mu square, then the expectation is given by e of x minus mu whole square. Means whatever is coming inside the bracket, we have to take its expectation. So here if you are saying expectation of ux, where ux is x minus mu whole square, is obviously given by this. You know, we can take ux is x minus mu whole square. And if we write on how to calculate it, it is summation of x minus mu whole square into fx. This is the formula. And this is called as the variance of x. Okay, it is also represented by sigma square. And what else? In your course, we are also going to learn about the movements. So, if we tell what these movements are, because it might be coming the next lecture, that what movements are, because in our lecture we are going to learn about the movements and their movement generating function. So, what movements are? Movements give me a statistical, you can say, the value that tell me how the values are differ and by how much. Means we will come to know the values are differ from the mean by how much and what are their effects. Correct. So it is also known as the second movement of x about mean. We are going to discuss it in the next lecture. So for the timing, let's see that it is just a name. Correct. Because there we will explore more. The next thing we are saying is standard deviation. Now, why standard deviation is because if we talk about standard deviation is the under root of variance, and variance is actually when calculated is taking the square in itself. It means the unit. Suppose if we're talking about the lengths, we have taken out the lengths of the produced product by a company. We have the different values. We have calculated the average. So when we are calculating the average, so average is just a value. Correct? So the unit is same. But if we are talking about variance, in variance the unit is going to be doubled because in the formula we are taking square. So that's a reason that when we are looking for how much variation is there, we use the square root of variance to give me the standard deviation. Okay. So this is what we have. And here in the formula, as a formula, you have to learn that variance is given by summation of x minus mu whole square fx, where what is mu? Mu is the mean that we have already calculated, represented as ex. Correct. So this is what we have. So let us go through to find out the mean, and hence we will look for the variance. Here I have given you two datas x and y, and here we have checked that what about their mean. Mean means expected value. So here if we have the data as 3, 4, 5 and the corresponding probability mass functions, and the second is y variable that can take 1 to 6, 8 with the probability 0.4, 1, 3 and 2. So what is the mean? To calculate the mean of x, we have done 3 into 0.3, 4 into 0.4, 5 into 0.3, and the final answer, if you will see, it's coming as 4. So for this x data, we are getting the value as 4. Similarly, if you go for y data, in y data the values are 1, 2, 6, 8 that can appear, and the values are 0.4, 0.1, 0.3 and 0.2, the probabilities. And if here we have calculated the variance, sorry, the mean is again 4. So from the data, it means we can't say which one is having more variation. Might be these are the three different values that we can take and their probabilities. Here another student is getting these four values and these are the probabilities. But if we talk about what is the average, so average is same in both of the cases because it happens most of the time when we have the data is totally different but the mean is same. So that's why we never rely upon the mean, because mean can be same when the data are different. So how we'll come to know what about the data or how the data is different? We have to go for the variance. So what we have learned, variance means how much variation is there to the data value from their mean, how they are different from their mean. This is how we will look for the variation. So let's calculate the variance. Can you calculate the variance? How we have to start with? Let me give you a hint and let's try if you all can do it. The variance formula is this summation of x minus mu whole square into fx. It means if we have the values, these are x, and what the mean is 4. So what we have to go for summation of x minus 4 whole square into fx. This is how we are going to calculate the variance. So if I have to calculate, what I will do, let me do for x and you have to calculate for y. For x, if I do 3 and 4, the difference of 3 and 4 is 1. 1 square is 1 into fx, means the first value is as such 0.3. Second value, if we talk about, is 4. 4 minus 4 gives me 0. So there is nothing to be multiplied, it will give me 0. So it is 0. I have written just for the clarity. If you talk about the third value, it's 5. 5 minus 4, 1. 1 square 1 into 0.3. So from here I will get the variance as 3. Sorry, 0.3 plus 0.3 gives me 0.6. So calculate now for y. What is the variance? Use your pen and paper and find out the variance of y. Again, what you have to do? 1 minus 4 whole square into 0.4, 2 minus 4 whole square into 0.1, 6 minus 4 whole square into 0.3, and 8 minus 4 whole square into 0.2. Use it and let me know which of the data is having more variations, because the means are coming same. We can't depict anything regarding the data values from the mean.
Ma'am, y has more variation.
Y has more variation. What's the value you are getting?
2.9, ma'am, in case of y.
2.9. Let's see what others are getting. Others, please also try. It's just so simple. You have to take 1 minus 4 whole square means 3 square. 3 square will give me 9. 9 into 0.4. 9 into, you can do it orally. There is no need of actually writing out the in between terms, because here we are doing the discussion. So if I do 1 minus 4, 3 square is 9. 9 fours are 36. So first value is 2.4. Then we have the second one, 2 minus 4 whole square means 2 square into 0.1 gives me 0.4. The next is 6 minus 4 whole square. It's 4 into 0.3. And the last one is 8 minus 4 whole square into 0.2. So let's see what the values are coming. Here we are getting the first value is 0.6 that we have calculated, and the second value is coming as 8.4. So how we are getting it? The first we obtained 3.6. Here you can see the first value we have 0.6 that we have calculated is correct. It is 0.6. When we talked about the second one, Himanshu, your value was also not correct. No? So we are getting 1 minus 4 whole square into 0.4. It gives me 9 into 0.4, 3.6. Then we have 2 minus 4, 2 square into 0.1. So 4 into 0.1, 0.4. Then it is 4, 6 minus 4, 2. 2 square is 4 into 0.3. It's 1.2. And the next one we have is 3.2. 4 square means 16, and 16 into 0.2 gives me 3.2. So if I add all these, it will give me the answer 8.4. So this is, we are getting very small variance here, and here the variance is very large. Correct? So if we talk about the unit here, you can see whatever x values are, we have made them double, we have squared them. So if it is in meter, we are getting meter square as the value. If it is in kilometer, we are getting kilometer square. That's why we never take the variance as a measure. We have to calculate variance, but by taking the square root, we take the same unit. So here if we talk about, we are getting 0.77 as the standard deviation of x, and this 2.9 is the standard deviation of y. And obviously expected variation in y is much larger than the expected variation in the random variable x. Correct? So this is a small example just to show you how to calculate the variance and hence the standard deviation of a given random variable. Correct? So till now we have calculated the mean. To calculate the mean, we have seen different formulas, how we can use the expected values, and now we have that how we are getting the variances and the standard deviation. Okay. One more formula we have regarding the variance, which is easy as compared to the last one. Here, what we have earlier, what we have done, we have used this formula summation of x minus mu whole square into fx. Now, what we are saying, we are going to simplify it. If we simplify it, what we can write down? We can write down the variance, which is represented by sigma square, is equal to e of x square minus of mu square. If you want to go for the proof is there is in the book, but here we are going directly with the formula because sometimes it's easy to use as compared to the earlier one. And when it is easy, when already we have calculated ex square and we know what is the mean of the given data. As in the last example, we have calculated the mean, so there is no need to take the difference of each and every term and then again to multiply. You can simply take your expected value of x square. Obviously, this is to be calculated, and then you have to subtract it with the mean square. Right? So this formula we are going to use. Okay, I think I have not added an example. So what you can do is, for the last example, you have to verify it by yourself because here the time is limited. I thought for adding the proof and the example, but here I left it for you. You have to use it because it is very simple as compared to the last one. So what you have to do here, you can take it for any one of them. Here already we know this is the value of ex, and if I have to calculate variance, till now we have used this formula. Now what we are saying, we have to calculate expected value of x square, e of x square, and minus of this ex whole square. Ex is 4, so minus 16. So verify it, find out is it coming 0.6 or not, and if you are not getting it, be sure to revert back to me and ask me if some mistake has been happening. Correct? So it is up to you, you are going to practice it or not, because in exams sometimes they have to give you directly ex square and ex, and they will ask you for the variance, and it's really very easy to done with it. Now back to continuous random variable. Till now we have worked with the discrete. Most of the example, you can see all the example today we have discussed is regarding the discrete one. Now let's take back to the continuous. And in order to go back to the continuous, how we are going to work with, let's take an example. Let x is a continuous random variable whose PDF, probability density function, is given by fx is equal to x cube by 4 for interval 0 to c. Right here the interval is not given, they are saying it is given for interval 0 to c. You have to find out the value of this c that will make fx a valid probability density function. Correct? So this is what you have to do. So try your pen and paper, work with it. Find it out. What we know is, we know the formula for the integration. That if I integrate from minus infinity to infinity fx dx, then it must be equal to 1. Here we are saying it's valid for 0 to c. So you have to use the property and find out what should be the value of c is, so that the integral of x cube dx, sorry, x cube by 4 dx should give me 1. Try it out. I'm expecting an answer from you. Integral, we have to take the integral x cube by 4 dx, and the limits are from 0 to c. Actually, in the formula, what we have in the formula minus infinity to infinity. Here we need to find out that if this is the probability density function, what should be the value of C. So I have to integrate it from 0 to C. Try it out. What is the integration of x cube? I hope all of you know. And we know the integration should be equal to 1. So we have to take the integral, take the limit 0 to c, and hence find out the value for which it will satisfy. Yes, have you done?
Answer is 2. C. Value of C is
Correct.
2. After
Yes,
integrating.
obviously the value is correct. I have also done. I don't know why others are not doing. Yes, Pritam has also given me answer. That's correct. So let's see how to do it. And it's very simple if you've done. I've just written the solution and see that I remember. And I have done also. So what we have is, we know from the formula minus infinity to infinity fx dx must be equal to 1. Here what we are saying, it's defined from 0 to c. So I have to take 0 to c, x cube by 4 dx is equal to 1. Correct? And if I take the integral, what I will get? X4 by 4. So x4 by 4 means here we have 4 already. So it will give me x4 by 16. 4 and 4 makes 16. And the limit is from 0 to c. So if I will put the limit 0 to c, at 0 it will become 0. So it will give me c4 is equal to 16. This is what I will get. And we know for which c value it is 16. So it is
Hmm.
2. You can say it could be minus 2 and plus 2 also, but actually when it is the upper limit and we are going from 0 to c, it can't be negative. That's why the solution is only 2. Okay, most of you have given me the answer. That's good. Praful, Shubham, Karthik, Arjun. That's good with them. So this is how we are going for the continuous random variable. Well, let's go to the formulas quickly. These are the formulas as we have done for the discrete. Now here we have to revise what we have done there and how we are going to do here. In the case of discrete, what we have done summation of x fx dx as the mean. Here also we have the same formula in between x into fx. But here we are going to integrate it from minus infinity to infinity. So this is how we are getting the mean of a continuous random variable is given by minus infinity to infinity x fx dx. Correct? If we talk about the variance, there we have taken this formula which is still same, but here we have to take integral again minus infinity to infinity x minus mu whole square fx and dx. And the shortcut formula or the alternative formula is still here, that the variance is given by ex square minus of ex. Mu is ex, so we can say mu whole square, or some author directly write down ex whole square. And this is what, or how you can calculate ex square minus infinity to infinity x square fx dx. And we know standard deviation means just the square root of variance, so no formula changes there. Actually, what we can say, the formulas are totally different. The only thing is, there we have taken summation of something into another thing. Here we are taking integral of the same formula along with the dx. Correct? So these are the formulas. Just you have to remember that in case of discrete, summation is there because they are discrete values. For the continuous one, we have the integrals. Okay, so this is how we are getting the values. Okay, now let's go quickly to the examples. Here we have a continuous random variable with the following probability density function, fx is equal to 3x square. Yes, one more thing is there that you must be very quick regarding the integration. Otherwise, it will take time. No? So here we are saying fx is given as 3x square for x lying between 0 to 1. So interval is not now minus infinity to infinity, is from 0 to 1. So can you find out the mean? What should be the mean? Okay, Pritam has given me the answer 1. They're very quick. I'm not sure. I have not done. Chale, let's do. It's 3 into integral x square fx dx. Sorry, x fx dx. X into fx is 3x square dx. So if it is 3, it's 3 outside, and I can add on x cube dx. X cube will give me x4 by 4 and 3, and the limit is from 0 to 1.
Ma'am, mean is 3 by 4.
Yeah, it's 3 by 4. It's not 1 because here when we have integrated, x cube is giving me x4 by 4. So we are getting 3 by 4 is the mean. Pritam, check your answer. Might be you have done in hurry. Let me see the solutions are here. I think only answers are written. Okay, let me show you how to do it. We have here integral
Ma'am,
0 to
variance is 3 by
1.
5.
0 to 1. It's x into fx dx. X into 3x square dx. Actually, it looks like it 3 से 3 cancel हो गया, but it's not so. We have in between we are getting x cube. So if we take 3 as common, it becomes 0 to 1 x cube dx. And we know that the integration of x cube is x4 by 4. So that's why when we have written it's 4, we can say in the denominator can cancel come out, and here we will get x4 with the limit 0 to 1. And if I take the limit 0 to 1, at 1 it will give me 1, at 0 it is 0, so internally we are getting 1. So finally we have the answer is 3 by 4. The next we are asking about variance. Himanshu, what your answer is?
Ma'am, 3 by 80 is the variance, ma'am.
3 by 80. We have written 3 by 5 also, huh? And variance spelling
Ma'am,
is not
no,
correct.
ma'am, actually, ma'am, 3 by 5. Ma'am, 3 by 5 was not the answer, ma'am, because ma'am, subtraction would be there. 3 by 5 is
Okay,
square minus 3 by 4 is square. After that, we will get the variance
3 by 80, correct. So
according
here
to
we have
formula.
shortcut formula you have used. Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
So here if we have Ex we have calculated is 3 by 4, and if we calculate similarly Ex square, then Ex square means here in place of x I will use x square. This is how na, this is the formula for Ex. This is our Ex. If I have to calculate E of x square, so only thing is because obviously it's very hard to calculate each term or x minus mu and then whole square. It's hard. So rather than we always prefer to go for the shortcut formula that says E of x square means
Minus mu
x
square.
square. Correct. It's 3x square dx. So if we have to go for this, it gives me 3x4, and on integration, it gives me 3x5 by 5. So 3 by 5 is the first answer. Is it, Himanshu? है ना?
Ma'am,
We are getting
actually,
3
ma'am,
by 5.
ma'am,
Hmm.
ex square is equals to 3 by 5. Ma'am,
Correct.
after
वही
that,
कह
we
रही
will
हूँ.
calculate variance.
Hmm.
Ma'am, 3,
Variance
that
is
is
E
3
of
by
x
5 minus 3
square.
by 4 square. Yes, ma'am.
Correct. Variance is 3 by 5 minus of 3 by 4 because it is, we have E of x square, this formula that we have shown,
Yes, ma'am.
and
Yes, ma'am.
minus of ex whole square. Ex is our variance, so sorry, mean. So sometimes we write down directly mu, or we can write down ex square minus ex whole square, and this will give me the answer as 3 by 80. Okay. And I have added some of the formulas here for the integration so that you can revise it in the last two slides. I think yes, it is just for the sake that sometimes students are getting difficulty in the integration itself. As I have seen, some of you are giving me the answer, 4 to 5 students were active, and all others might be there taking time doing all these things. So that's why I have added some of the formulas here. So just revise it, refresh regarding all these trigonometric formulas and the normal integration formulas, and then you can go for the same set of examples. Okay. So this is all from my side today, and tomorrow in the next one, let's see. I think what I remember is we have, yes, till now we have done with the expectation. In the next class we are going to start with the movements and their movement generating function. So this is the topic of the next class, and be sure to practice whatever we have learned till now, because here the time is very limited, and you have to practice more regarding both of the things, either it is continuous or discrete random variable, regarding the expectation and all other formulas.